Welcome to part 2, guys. So, disclaimer, part 2 was a fail. So, if you watch this video, we're gonna get into that later, but then basically don't use beads that are as big as what I'm using, okay? So, what I did was, it's 13 by 5. That's what I'm counting. So, in order to create the curve under, we're going to count 4 beads on each side, and we're going to leave that out. So on the 5th bead, which is the outside bead, we're going to take a thread through, and then I put one bead on the other end and another bead on the other end as well. So basically you don't need a thread that is too long for this. I didn't know, I just needed a little bit and I ended up wasting the thread. So you just need something, maybe like one stretch of your hand, and then that's okay. So since it's on the 5th line, we're going to count 5 again. And then we're going to put it on the outer, the 5th bead that is on the outer corner. Then we're going to take that thread through the other bead on the other side. So we create a ring of 4 beads, okay? So the thing is, when you're doing this part, you want to make sure you're really tightening your hand and pulling like everything together really tight, okay? Because that is what is going to mold and pull the bag together. So make sure you're pulling it really tight. Then pull it tight as you can, and then you're going to continue weaving. So you're going to take it through the next bead, and this time around, since you've started the ring already, you're only going to need 1 bead to close it, okay? And I'm going to show you guys. So you take this through the next bead. I'm sorry, I honestly, I didn't, this was in the bag. I changed my mind later and I was like, oh, this is the kind of style I want to do, the kind of bag I want to do. So yeah, because I feel like this color is not the best for this tutorial, and I'm sorry, but I hope you guys can still, see or understand what it is I'm doing. So the next thing is just to add 1 bead, and you're going to tighten it, okay? Also, I got a new tripod, which the stem is very small. So I tried a new a new filming. This time around, the camera is like just in front of me, so it's like I can see exactly what I'm doing. So let me know if you guys like this style. It looks like I don't know how to explain it, but then it's like you guys are seeing it from how I'm also seeing the bead like procedure as well. So I just counted the 5 on the side just to make sure the 4 on the side just to make sure I don't exceed the number of beads I'm supposed to go through. So I'm leaving 4 on each side, so I'm just doing 5 in the middle, okay? So if you use the same size as I do, just make sure you're using smaller beads. These beads are like, I think they're quite big. I need to measure, but it's probably 10 or 12 mm. It's probably 12 or 12 mm. It's not the usual 8 mm. I would recommend you do maybe like an 8 mm or something. Yeah, that would be better. So here I think I'm just trying to, I honestly don't remember what I was doing. I think I was just trying to snip off the tip of the thread. Oh, okay, so I was having difficulty trying to pull the thread through the bead, so yeah, I had to do that to fix it. And I think this is the last one actually. So for the last one, when you do this, you take your final bead and then you're gonna take your right thread through, and instead of leaving it, you're gonna take it through the ending bead as well, because you're trying to lock it. Okay, so once you take it through the ending bead, you're gonna take your left thread and you're gonna go through the bead that has to lock it. So the thing with bead making is there aren't any like specific terms to know a lot of things, right? So the only way to understand when you're watching a video is to be making like have some beads in front of you and be making something, right? So when you're making as you're watching, then you can understand what exactly is going on. But if you're just watching without having like beads in front of you, you're gonna get so confused. Also, like I said, make sure you're really tightening the bag. So now you're done with the down parts of the bag. So the only thing you want to be doing now is to, what's it called, take the thread through as many the threads, which is it's like both of them, take them through as many beads as you can. Okay, so everyone keeps asking, how do you end the thread? What do you do with the excess thread? It's very simple. You don't cut it, because if you cut it, your bag is going to unravel, or your project is going to unravel. So the only thing you do is you take the thread through as many beads as you possibly can, and when you've like gone through as many as you can, then you can cut off whatever the excess is. That's if your thread is very long, then you just cut off the excess. Okay. So that's basically what I'm doing now. I'll be taking it through some beads, and sometimes it's hard because what's it called? The space in the bead might be too small, or maybe you have more than two lines going through one bead. Okay, so if you ever get to a point where you're trying to close your thread off, but you realize, oh, like this bead is giving me a bit of resistance, or there's like three beads and it's not going through, you can always find like a different bead, and then you just like take it through it. Okay, but then you always want to make sure as you're taking it through, you're not going through like a straight line. You're either taking a left or a right, so you're bending, I don't know how to explain it, you're going in either a left or a right direction. Don't go straight, because then it's gonna end up having lines of thread inside, and you don't want that. Okay, so yeah, basically that's all I'm gonna do. Take it through a whole lot, and then it comes to the part where I realized, okay, this bag was a flop, because after I did the down part, because the bag is quite heavy because the beads are large. Okay, so after creating the curve under, it gave it a weird wriggly shape, which I feel with a smaller bead wouldn't have happened, or even with a square beads, the one they call the sugar beads, it wouldn't have happened that way. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you guys the mistake and end the video here. But then if you've watched so far, you feel like trying it, then like I said, make sure you have smaller beads, like beads that are smaller than mine. And yeah, just follow the procedure, and that's it. Hopefully I can get smaller beads and then do another video. But if it ended up being right, this is how the shape was going to look like. And if you ever wonder how to create the Balenciaga shape, then this is how to make it. Okay, so I'm going to end the voice notes here so you guys can watch the rest of the video, how I was trying to create the handles and all of that. Okay. So with the handle, you want to take one end of the bag from the side. You take a bead, you take it through, as you guys can see, and then I'm gonna take the thread through the other side as well. So this way we're sort of like folding the bag inside. Then we're gonna lock it with another bead. So this will be a locking bead, and you're gonna pull it tight. So when you pull, it's gonna send the beads inside. Okay, so once you're done with this, you're gonna go like move to the next bead that's on the edge, okay, downward. So you're just doing like two is all you need. You don't need to do too much with this. So you do two, you do another one there, you take your right thread, and you're gonna take it through the next bead on the right. Okay, so you're gonna add a locking bead again, and this time around, instead of locking it on the locking bead, you're gonna turn it to the side of the bag and do the locking. That way you can be able to pull the excess thread through the entire bag with ease. Okay, so you don't have to suffer, because if you lock it on the other side, then it's gonna be difficult to find a direction to pull the thread. So I recommend always ending on the side of the bag. Then you can send the threads to whatever direction it is you need. Okay, so after making this is when I realized my bag was sort of like folding on the inside, and I was like, this isn't gonna do. Like, I have to take everything down. It's either that, or I have to just find like a new kind of style altogether, which I feel that's what I might end up doing. So yeah, this is the end of the video, guys. Like I said, if you try to make this, please use a smaller bead. Something smaller than mine would do. Okay, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.